What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another review video. Big shout out goes out to Eilleo Spacewalk for reaching out to me and asking me to review their brand new electric dirt bike. This is the X01 model. And just for size comparison, I am 5'8", I weigh 160 pounds, and this is what I look like on this thing. The sitting position is really nice and comfortable. The seat is very comfortable. As far as the suspension, we have a hydraulic front fork, which is very nice and plush. It is not adjustable. And in the rear, we have a monoshock that is very nice. I can't wait to try this thing off-road. In this review, I'm going to go over everything there is to know about this electric dirt bike. There will be chapters down below, so feel free to skip around to whatever part is of interest to you. But first, let's get started with the specs. So this is the Eilleo Spacewalk X01 brand new electric dirt bike. It features a 2500 watt, 3000 watt peak mid-drive brushless motor with 180 newton meters of torque connected to a 60-tooth sprocket with a 420 chain. This is coupled with a 48 volts, 20 amp hour battery. Eilleo claims that this should give you a range of up to 35 miles depending on riding mode and riding conditions, of course. We have 60 by 100 14-inch front tire and an 80 by 100 12-inch rear tire. This is coupled with hydraulic brakes front and rear with 203mm rotor by 4mm thick. That is very nice. We have hydraulic front fork as well as a rear monoshock for a smooth, comfortable ride. Fairly wide foot pegs, a plastic mudguard, and a fairly large and comfortable seat that is 31.5 inches from the floor. In the front of the bike, we have a quad LED headlight that is very bright, as well as turn signals. And in the rear, we have a taillight, an active brake light, and turn signals. That is very nice. The total weight of this bike is 124 pounds with the max load capacity of 264 pounds. And up on the handlebars, we have our front brake and our full twist throttle. And on the left side, we have our rear brake, our display with the on, off, and mode selector buttons, hazard light switch, headlight switch, turn signals, and a horn. And that is pretty much it for the specs. Now, as far as the price, this model goes for $14.99, but I will have a discount code along with a link if you're interested in this model. That'll be in the description down below. Now, before I do the speed test, just a few things that stand out to me right off the bat is, first and foremost, the way this bike looks. Absolutely beautiful. I'm loving this new direction that all of these e-bike companies are taking. Very nice. The second thing are these brakes. Absolutely massive brakes for a bike like this. Definitely bigger than what comes on a Sur-Ron. Very nice. Very impressive. Of course, we're going to be testing them shortly. And the last thing is the suspension. Really nice and comfortable, very plush. But with all that stuff being said, let's jump into our speed test. Now, before I do the speed test, I do want to show you the starting procedure. Pretty simple on this bike. We do have an on-off key right here. It actually comes with two of them. You just have to turn it on, turn the ignition on, and the bike turns on. Now, this bike has 3 riding modes, 1, 2, and 3. For our speed test, I'm going to be testing mode 3. Another thing is, when the bike turns on, it's going to be in park mode. You do have to hit one of the brakes in order to take it out of parking mode. So I got my phone's GPS app open, speed reset. Alright, and let's see how fast we can get this thing to go. Okay, plenty of torque right off the bat. It does want to lift the front wheel up. That is very nice. That sprocket is huge, gives you so much torque. And the bike is showing 36.1. Kind of stuck on 36.1, but I'm just gonna keep on going till the end of this road. 36.7. Ooh, I saw 37.1. There you go. Yeah, I'm gonna keep on going just to give my GPS enough time to catch up. Sometimes it's laggy. Whew, and this should be enough. That felt fast. Let's see our results. So my phone's GPS is showing 34.9 miles per hour. which feels like you are flying on a bike like this. So as far as I'm concerned, that's pretty good with me. But anyways, that was our speed test. Now let's do our brake test, and these brakes are absolutely insane. We have a 203 millimeter rotor floating that's 4 millimeters thick. That is absolutely crazy. My Sur-Ron doesn't have brakes like this. It literally has pit bike brakes. But with that being said, I'm gonna make my way up to about 20 miles an hour, and I'm gonna be braking at this light pole in 3, 2, go. All right, that's suspension. Crazy. All right, so from that light pole to where I'm at, we're looking at about 10 feet or so. So a stopping distance of about 10 feet from about 20 miles an hour. And again, the weight of this bike and me, 160 pounds on it, not bad actually. Very decent stopping distance. Another thing to keep in mind is these are brand new, guys, so as soon as they bed themselves in, you should expect better results, so keep that in mind. But anyways, that was our highly successful brake test. Now let's talk about the brand itself for a second, and then the riding experience. As far as the brand, I've worked with Eilleo Spacewalk before, and I've reviewed one of their e-bikes, which was really fun, and I'm really glad they went in this direction. Just so you guys know, a lot of these e-bike companies are making the same move, which to me is a very wise, very smart decision. As you guys know, the mini electric dirt bike market in the United States is absolutely blowing up right now. It's such a hot market, so I'm really happy a lot of these companies are doing it. Let's see how it does over a bump right here. Oh my god, so smooth, such crazy suspension. Let's try another one. Dude, that is buttery smooth suspension on this. But yeah, anyway, so back to what I was saying, I'm really happy that a lot of these companies are coming out with these types of electric bikes. Very smart move. How is this bike with a little bit of curb hopping? Oh my god, butter, so nice. And I mean, look at this thing. What a sick bike, dude. This thing looks so sick. This freaking chain right here is huge on this bike. 420 chain on a small bike like this, absolutely crazy. Now I'm kind of looking into seeing if I can connect to the controller or not. I didn't open it up yet to see if there's a Bluetooth dongle. I'm sure guys are gonna be all over that very fast, upgrading this thing to make it go faster, have more torque, whatever. As far as torque, this thing has plenty. It wants to lift up right away. Oh my god, plenty of torque, plenty of power. This thing is absolutely insane. Now, I'm no wheelie expert, but you can wheelie this thing easily. I'm just not gonna embarrass myself. As far as the sitting position, like I said, that's very comfortable, and the seat itself also fairly comfortable. I'm loving the throttle response, very nice. You can do a little bit if you want, give it a little bit more juice. Now again, I will try to open this up. I just want to finish this review as a whole bike, but I do want to open it up and see if there's a way to connect to the controller and tune some of the settings. Not that there's anything wrong with the tune right now, but I just want to see if I can squeeze out a little bit more power out of the battery, and to see just how far we can push this bike. Again, I'm sure guys are going to be upgrading this thing in no time. Now we're all familiar with the Tudio and that other company, which the name slipped right now. I forgot, it starts with a V, Vanishu or something like that. I can never pronounce it right. Everybody knows that one. A bunch of these are coming out to the market, and not just that, I do have another one at the house that I'm waiting to review, and that should be fun. But anyways, now it's time to try our off-road test, because you're gonna be getting this thing to have some fun. Maybe you'll switch it out to sumos, but a lot of us are gonna be riding in the dirt, so let's give that a go. As far as the power, oh man, I'm not worried about that. I'm kind of testing the tires, which seem pretty nice, and the suspension. Oh man, this thing is a monster. So crazy. And we got this incline, which is no match for this thing. This thing is crazy. This thing is insane. Now my tires are pumped up to the max right now. Will definitely benefit from losing a couple PSI or more than a couple to gain more traction, but because I was riding on the road and doing the review and all that stuff, I kind of put a lot of pressure in the tire. But man, does this thing have a lot of power. Absolutely crazy, very wild, very active. I'm loving this thing. All right, let's continue our little off-road adventure here. I like this trail because we have a lot of everything over here. Some loose gravel, some rocks, loose sand. It's like a bunch of everything, and you'll never come across on the GoPro, but it's a bumpy trail. And so far, this bike is just eating everything up. That is absolutely crazy. Let's go straight. I'm loving the suspension on this thing. It is handling it, with my weight at least, very well. So if you get this for someone who's a bit younger, weighs less than what I weigh, oh man, the suspension, that's a bumpy section right here, and it's handling it nice. So somebody that's lighter than 160 pounds, the suspension will be so nice for them. Absolutely crazy. Wow. Let's try a little hill climb over here. Hill climb action. Pretty steep. Let's see how it does. Oh yeah, come on baby. Oh yeah, come on. Just made it. That is really good. Oh man. Dude, this thing is sick. What a sick little toy. I can literally ride out here for hours until the battery runs out. But this is a review, and I want to keep the video fairly short. So I think this should be sufficient enough to cover the off-road capabilities of this little monster. This is the rough section. Yeah, the suspension is really nice on this thing. Oh man. Alright, I think this should be good enough. Let's see, after doing an off-road test, I kind of like to check like the headset, or did anything get loose, any of the screws, anything, but everything feels solid. That's nice. So what do I think about the Eilleo Spacewalk X01 electric dirt bike? Let's do things I like, things I don't like, and is this thing good value for money or not? I'll start with things I like, and there are so many that I don't want to bore you, but just to go through them quickly. I like the motor, I like the suspension, I love the brakes, I like the seat, I like the battery's decent enough to give you some playing time. Of course, you can always upgrade it, and this is kind of what we do. We upgrade a lot of things, so there's definitely room for that. I love the way this bike looks. Now let's do things I don't like, and I always try to find at least one, just so I'm honest with you guys. In this particular case, I tried very hard, but the only thing I guess I can say that I dislike would be the top speed. I wish there was a way to unlock this thing. There might be, okay? This is just me doing the review, first day of getting this bike. I haven't opened it up to see if I can connect to the controller, but as of right now, that will be the only thing I don't like, is the top speed. I wish it had more top speed, because this thing would be so much more fun if it had like 10 more miles an hour. So like hitting 45, this thing would be insane. But that is honestly the only thing that I could find that I kind of dislike. Now, with all that stuff being said, is this thing good value for money or not? So we're talking $1,499, $1,500, but I will have a discount code that'll be in the description. And I think that for everything that you're getting here, it's a beautiful value for money, considering all the other mini or small electric dirt bikes out and their price range. This bike is right in that category. Perfect price for what you're getting here. You're not going to regret it. If I was a kid and I got this as a gift, I'd be loving life. I would be flying. And even as an adult receiving this thing, insane. What a fun toy. I highly recommend this thing. Now, I'm pretty sure I was able to go over everything there is to know about this electric dirt bike with the limited time that I had, but if you guys want to see more of this thing, let me know down below and I'll try to make it happen. This has been the Eilleo Spacewalk electric dirt bike review. I appreciate you guys watching as always, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.